A wild Vanessa.
Now I want to know. We actually have like -4 people watching this.
Roughly.
That's
not the point. The point is that this face cam doesn't actually look at anyone's faces.
It's true. Craig Hergensen has 18 life.
Oh,
Think of how much life that is.
that is many lives. That's like twice as many lives as cats have.
-4 less than 22.
It's true.
You like -4, huh, Zach?
No, I just seem to fit.
Alright, so let's talk about your deck. What was your pack 1, pick 1? Why?
My pack 1, pick 1. Dude, I'm trying to remember, because I did not open
You gotta be the
shoe
worst
you.
drafter in history if you,
You
can't
know
remember
what?
pack 1, pick 1.
I'm working on it. It has been a long day, alright? I remember that I didn't really open money, which made me sad, because somebody opened Ugin. That made me angry. Oh, it was a Bathe in Dragonfire.
Okay, that's a solid first pick.
Yeah, it was reasonable. The pack was a little weird. It was, oh my god, Dragonclaw. Yasova Dragonclaw was the rare. And she seems like a really solid card, but...
She seems insane.
Well, the problem...
She's very good. I feel
good.
like the ability to active treason your opponent's creatures every turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. But first and foremost, that's not really the style of deck that I typically play. And so, if possible, I'd rather stick to something in my wheelhouse. And since I have multiple things that are in my wheelhouse, I'm a little bit flexible.
Multiple things that aren't Yasova.
So if he dies to Yasova, we have to laugh at him.
Fair.
I want to figure out who got Yasova and then
the other
Yasova
problem
Zack
with
plays
Yasova, alright, so the two biggest problems I have with Yasova, first off, she is almost an Alpine Grizzly half the time, right? She's a 14.
Which is actually still a playable card.
That's fine, but that dies to
For
all
3
removal, including debilitating injury, which is a big deal. It trades with the Sandstep Outcast, that's a big deal. All sorts of stuff, and I can't be
But you
using...
can steal their
No,
Sandstep
it
Outcast.
doesn't trade with it because you steal it.
Alright, let me finish. Alright, very often I would much rather be committing to the board than spending mana to do that.
That's fair.
So if it's like early to mid-game, I'd very much rather commit to the board more than spend mana on that. And so if that's a late-game ability, that's not really the type of deck that I'm really looking to build.
That's acceptable.
And so half the time, in fact, for me, I'd probably say a good 75% of the time, I'm going to play a 4-2-1-3. I'm going to trade
That
it
number's
with something.
entirely made up.
Okay, fine. 67.5930% of the time.
Can you somehow incorporate an
Did you know
algorithm?
that Abraham Lincoln once said that 94% of statistics on the internet are made up on the spot?
Pretty sure
It was
didn't say
93,
that.
actually. Yeah, he didn't say 94.
Pretty sure he didn't mention the internet ever.
Anyway, so
It's
it was between that, it was between, I opened a foil Reach, it was a Reach from the Shadows, and there was Bathe in Dragonfire, and there was a Doom and Gloom. So there was a lot of removal in the pack. And I generally go with something with red in it. Not always, but generally. And I think, as good as Doom and Gloom is for me, Bathe and Dragonfire offer the most flexibility. And so from that point, I could go Mardu, I could go Jeskai, I could go virtually anything red in it, but those are the two things that I'm more likely to go. And if I needed to hop out of red, then that was perfectly fine too. It was really, that would largely be based on what my the guy to my right was in. And I noticed that he wasn't in black, but I'm pretty sure he was in white. He may have been in red, but he definitely wasn't in blue.
Right.
Because my pack 1, pick 2 was a Shuyun, which really surprised me. Because I feel like that is a lot... personally, I feel like that's a lot stronger than Dragonclaw. Prowess, 3-2 Prowess is a big deal. Offers it to trade favorably with a lot of things. And the ability to, just out of the blue, double strike something is a really big deal.
It's a good ability.
Yeah, and that's really explosive, especially for like a Jeskai type deck, where you're just trying to like control the board a little bit, remove some guys, and then get in for damage to win. And so I started taking a lot of the blue cards. I got a Whisk away pretty late, which surprised me. The 2/3 Flying Prowess, I have 2 of him pretty early. That really surprised me.
That guy's okay.
This guy's pretty good. Like he's a Bondkin with I think it's a little bit better than Vigilance. Like Vigilance on a 2/3 flyer is great, but Prowess. Are you gonna? If I
the
swing with this
Alabaster
guy,
Kieran is what you're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bonkin's
Bonkin's
the
a 2/1.
Yeah,
You're right.
first strike you're holding in your hand right now.
Kieran. Those are weird names. Yeah, but like you're not gonna block with your 2/3 Vigilant Flyer because I mean if I run over, that's a big loss.
Right.
So I like this guy a lot more. I got the 2/2 Bounce Bird because nobody's gonna recognize its name.
Aven Surveyor.
Yeah, I got that pretty late in the pack too. Just a lot of really late stuff. I got a Channel Harm pretty late. That really surprised me. I'm like, all right. By the end of pack 1, I had a few black cards like a Dowsing Gloom, and I got a Muck Draggers like almost last pick. Like, oh my gosh! Either nobody's in black or nobody knows how good this card is.
I believe the person to your right was possibly
That seems bad then.
not black.
Person to my right. Oh, they weren't. They were 100% not black.
Yeah.
I got way too many black cards.
How late did you get the?
The Muck Dragger?
Yeah.
Second to last pick, I think.
Oh wow,
It was crazy.
That's super late.
Yeah, it was ridiculously late. There's no excuse. At that point, I imagine it's almost even worth cutting because there can't be anything of real value, more than likely. And so I had a few black cards, and I had mostly blue and red cards and a few white cards. I'm like, all right, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to go blue-red. And it's really a question of like what my third color is going to be, which I think is largely how they intended people to draft Fate cons.
Yeah, I think ideally you want to stay 2-color for Fate.
Yeah.
And then figure out what your third color is in the cons.
I don't know if Eltarhoni's Zack Tufford feature match.
It's Vanessa.
It's
to you.
Who's sitting on which side?
I don't think it matters. I'm probably going to need a minute to
Make
pull
sure
the
you
sleeve.
turn
ideally, but I don't know if I can afford to pass the Necropolis Fiend, even though there were some pretty good cards in this pack. I think there was like an Aerostorm and some stuff that I definitely wanted, but I took the Necropolis Fiend because I still kind of wanted my flexibility, and sure enough, since I expected Adam to my left to be in black because I just passed a whole bunch of black stuff, I got almost no black stuff back, which was good for me because then I started being put in the America colors. I actually got a whole bunch of stuff like Mind Swipe. I have multiple Bondkins. I even had to pass one.
I saw a couple of Winter Flames and a Cunning Strike.
I have 2 Winter Flames, a Jeskai Charm, Crippling Chill, Kill Shot, Whisk Away. Like, I have so much removal. Master the Way, Cunning Strike. I have that Channel Harm, and then it took a while, but in Pack 3 I managed to pick up 1 Cruise. I kind of wish I had 1 more, because the basic idea behind this deck is to try to keep parity between threats and removal. Ideally, the opponent eventually runs out of real threats, or they draw into a land pocket, which, I mean, this is a very real strategy if you have enough removal to force them into that position. And then you Treasure Cruise back up, and it's a massive advantage.
Oh, yeah.
And so we'll see how it works. It definitely needs to draw well. I was very pleased that I wound up getting 4 on-color dual lands and a fetch land that isn't completely on-color, but I'll probably still play it to fuel the Delve, because it does have one of my colors.
Sure. Well, alright, we'll let you get to deck building, and we'll see you in the feature match.
Yep. You mean the finals?
No, right now.
No.
So that's
Vanessa would be someone who wouldn't split, too.
I know, for
What a
real.
scrub.
Vanessa's a dick.
I don't know if you can say that.
Well, I mean, I just said it.
We're live.
We're gonna get banned.
We're going to get banned
I
from
mean, it's
Twitch.
not my
I'm going to
Twitch
take my
stream.
shirt off.
I do it. I'll allow it. I'm not Twitch.
I'll do it right
I'm
now.
not your dad. I'm not a cop. Alright. So we're just setting up. I assume that they're deck building at the minute.
That's what I would be doing if I had just drafted. What did you say? Adam, person whose last name?
Eltarhoni.
Eltar.
Something like that.
I believe it's something like that.
Alright,
They're going to
find
sit
out.
opposite sides. Yeah, that's Adam's deck right there.
Yeah.
On the other side.
Womp womp.
Wops. The wops.
There we go. It looks correct to me. You need to put up life totals, though. They're both at 20. Well, it looks like Adam was ready. Of course, Vanessa is a slow roller.
Hasn't quite built his deck yet there.
We saw that from the draft portion. Vanessa took a lot of time to build his deck.
I need a secret tech. What did Zack draft?
Oh, well, he drafted
What did you
colors
draft?
and creatures and spells.
I
just gonna
drafted
look at your
Sultai
deck.
Jank.
Oh, you drafted.
Sultai Jank.
Well, that's not janky, but it was okay. As soon as he passed me that Yasova.
Yeah, okay. That's exactly what we were wanting to see, actually, because Zach was talking about why he didn't take Yasova, and I kind of hope he gets crushed by it.
I do. I think that'd be hilarious.
Because I think it's great.
Yeah, it is. Even it doesn't even force you to color, really. You can just keep it as a
An Alpine
green
Grizzly.
card. Yeah. And then if you happen to get the duels that support it, you're good to go.
Yeah. It looks like a pretty solid deck. You got a good amount of removal, some scary threats.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get Palace Siege out, bring a creature back every turn.
Or even just the drain and gain if you're ahead on board.
Well, yeah.
Puts a pretty significant clog
Damage.
on your
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's a 4-point life
We'll see
swing
what
every
happens.
turn. I mean, that's
I plan to be able
big.
to draw if I win the roll. Because I'm not fast enough to be on the play.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
We'll see how it
All
goes.
right, so once Vanessa gets his shit together, we'll start round 1. Adam is, of course, already ready.
Meanwhile, we'll look at this adorable little dog.
It's a dog, all right.
Pretty sure it's a dog with
Or
some,
something.
Is it coming
he's
out
got
of a wall?
horn,
I'm not sure.
so he's a unicorn dog.
I don't think it's like a Bident.
He's a Biden dog.
Who knows?
He's Stas's dog of the sea.
Thassa's dog of the sea. Probably a
Biden
very
dog
good
of Thassa.
dog paddler. I meant for
I'm-
the face cam to go away there, and it didn't.
Negative captain.
Negative Capitan.
Just impacted on the surface.
I was hoping one of these was makes a Pegasus.
Yeah, I don't know where that went.
Sure, Vanessa ate it.
Probably. Vanessa is a big fan of banding. In fact, I think this is it.
Yeah, that looks beat up. Just beat up enough to be the Pegasus of the Mesa.
It bans. That's
It
an
does
important
ban.
ability. That's probably
The bane of all Magic judges.
That's probably in the top 5 magic abilities of all time.
That's stupid.
I mean, don't you want to be able to choose how your creatures block? Your opponent's creatures
yeah,
block?
do that every declare blocker step.
Yeah.
That's not what banding does.
That's in fact what banding does. Did you know that if your creatures are banded, you get to assign how your opponent's creatures deal damage?
But they can choose not to block.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
You
But if
can't-
they do block, you get to choose.
You get to order
Yeah, how the damage works.
your attackers. Right, yeah.
It's a very unique ability.
That's interesting and terrible. And WotC had no idea what they were doing.
Well, I mean, banding sounds like a good idea. As long as you don't think about it. too
I'd say
hard.
it sounds like a good idea on paper, but it's on paper, and
Sure.
it's a horrible idea.
You know what the best card with banding is? It's actually Master of the Wild Hunt, I think. Doesn't actually have banding, but it makes wolf tokens
That
that
fight.
do have banding.
Yeah, they fight
Yeah.
the things. Yep. That, those hidden keywords on cards.
They're-
Like the Siege Rhino and its herd mechanic.
Yep.
Whereas if you see a Siege Runner, you'll probably see 2 or 3 or even
It's
4.
true. Or 12.
Or, yeah, I
if
mean,
your
maybe.
opponent has a Palace Siege, I mean...
I saw a...
all heroes downfall that Siege Rhino. Okay, I'm gonna get it back on my upkeep, and I'll play it again.
that SCG Open that John Farrow took down. I believe he cast Hornet Queen 5 or 6 times in one game, thanks
There you
to
go.
Soul of Innistrad.
There's Adam doing some fancy card tricks on camera for us.
Oh, solid. I missed all of them.
I know.
I'm sure they weren't
it
that
was,
impressive.
It was pretty sweet.
Was it?
Um,
Do it again.
I mean, he left now. He's card tricked out. That's all he had.
He's all out. He's
He only
done.
had one. He's a card trick student, not a card trick master.
Shame.
I know.
Shame.
Still waiting
got,
for
like-
Vanessa.
Got like Kibler hands over here, just shuffling these random cards.
Yep. Now the cards win you the game. You just look at them.
Just stare at them and hope my opponent gets afraid and scoops.
Yep.
And I'm off to the bathroom to snort some cocaine.
It's Patrick Chapin actually goes the card
I'm
game.
pretty sure Kibler's on the
I mean,
coke
he
as well.
probably is as well. I mean, they all know each other, so let's be real. Like Patrick Chapin like sells the cocaine to Brian Kibler, and then they do it together. That's why they always travel together. Obviously.
Why is there a skill saw in here?
I don't know. That's a good question. I
We have a
wouldn't
skill
think
saw
about
in the
it too
booth.
hard. It's true, we do. It's for if when we bring our interviewers in, if they start getting mouthy, we
get
take
to
'em
saw
out
this
with-
table in half.
Yeah, we take them out with the skill saw.
Solid.
We make them an offer they can't refuse. One might say.
That offer is death,
Yep.
and they don't have a choice.
There's no choice. It's okay. We have a rotary saw too, so we have some options for sawing. We also have fireworks
With Ash's name on it.
with Ash's name on it. Those are probably from the 4th of July last year. So
As in 2014?
yeah, and then these have been back here for 6 months.
Solid.
Probably. It's hard to tell.
It is hard to age fireworks. You got to cut them in half and count the rings. And
Sure, you do.
That's dangerous.
And then they might explode.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't recommend that.
We wouldn't want that in the nice booth back here. This is like some high quality boothing back
Oh,
here.
yes.
So we have our monitor on top of the tower. Very, very nice. Looks like Adam is shuffling.
I'm not sure what he's
Maybe
doing.
he's
making a
card
smiley face,
tricking. He learned a new trick.
which
All
is
right.
to create a smiley face.
Yeah. So he's got a nice dice nose right there and a smiley face. I think we can update him to at least card trick adept.
Adept?
Apprentice? Okay, we can start with apprentice. and
Well,
then go to
how
adept next.
how is apprentice compared to student? They're kind of the same thing.
I think
right?
they are. Yeah.
Yeah.
So probably adept.
Adept, yeah.
Or journeyman.
Novice?
Novice.
I think a novice is higher than a student.
I mean, probably.
Yeah. Because a student's kind of like,
They're still learning.
they don't know anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Novice knows a little bit.
Yeah, novice is
Just
like...
not a lot. Because he knows 2 card tricks.
Sure.
I mean, he couldn't do a magic show, but he could be an opening act.
He could open, yeah. So still just waiting
Vanessa.
around on Mr. Zack Tufford.
Mr.
to-
Alex Schwartz.
Oh, yeah, I seem to have the wrong name up there.
I know.
Apologies. I'll get right on that. If I can learn how to spell. That capital A.
Yep.
Just the way I like it. I find myself wondering, like, man, I bet all these people think I'm an idiot. And then I'm like, oh, wait, there's probably like 4 people watching this
I
straight
know, for
tops.
real. We probably have. I'm actually somewhat curious. Let's see.
I couldn't figure out how to check from my Twitch app on my phone, so...
Oh, here we are. Okay.
Oh, there we go. There's some people.
Oh, we
talking in
got
the chat.
one viewer.
We have one viewer, and he's talking to himself. Who are these people that are talking in the chat?
I have no idea. Well, to be fair, we did tell them that we were going to be taking a break. So.
We did tell them that.
This is also looks like
What
it's,
is? Yeah,
it's
how
our
far
first
behind is that?
round.
Is that's what it's showing? Are we?
This might have frozen.
Refresh the page.
Alright, hold on. Mute that so it doesn't make a ton of noise. Oh, nice. Still one viewer.
Well, that's always good.
We're really good at this. I would say that we're at least on the same level of Rashad Miller. At least.
What if the one viewer is Rashad Miller?
It could be. He's coming to us to look for tips. Oh man, there we go. That's some nice advertisement right there. That's right. We can find out who are.
Can we?
You
Because I clicked on this thing and nothing happened.
No, rip.
We're just gonna talk to him in the chat. Hi, viewer. Make yourself known. We might be waiting here a while. They could be MIA.
It's true. It'd be like a sleep.
I would be.
They pass
If I had
out
to
of the
listen to me.
keyboard. I don't know what the heck's going on, but these guys keep just yapping. I'm done. Wake me up in 3 hours.
After Vanessa's died to Yasova.
I know. Well, I mean, in 3 hours, he might not even have built his deck yet. We're still waiting.
It's kind of upsetting because Zack has enough removal that if Yosova ever hits the table, it's just going to die.
It's true.
It's not going to take
depending
over
on when
the game.
it hits. So that's
True.
that's the big thing.
If it's a late game Yosova,
so Yosova is probably not as strong as Chuyun and on curve. Yeah, are you gonna play?
Yeah.
Well, then go
Are
play.
you gonna play?
No,
No,
I'm
we're
not
gonna
try.
make
That's why
words.
we have this covered then.
Shut up, Vanessa. Get on camera. But anyway, so I do agree that Yosova is probably worse than Chuyun if you're curving out.
But he picked the Bathe and Dragonfire.
But late game, if you're talking about top deck wars, Yosova just like can win out of nowhere. Whereas Chuyun doesn't really do anything unless you have cards that go with him. Yosova's a standalone card, so obviously Chuyun can be a lot more powerful.
There's a higher ceiling.
He has a higher ceiling, but he also has a much lower floor as well. And again, just having a 4/2 Alpine Grizzly is sometimes what is good enough.
Yeah.
Oh man, look, we have 2 viewers now.
There we go. We are doubled our viewers in the past 5 minutes there.
All right, let's go back to this.
One of them's probably Chris on the computer.
I mean, I'm not even gonna lie, that's probably true. I don't know, the one thing that I maybe don't agree with, well, Adam did have a slower deck. I don't know if I would want to be on the draw. Just because Zack's deck is so
There's
fast.
too many. Well, he doesn't know what Zack is on.
That is true.
But
That
there
is
are
true.
too many aggro decks in the format to assume that you're.
Well, he does have the spooky wall. That is probably one of the best cards in those colors. It's Archer's Parapet is a 2-mana 0/4 that you could tap for 2 mana to do 1 damage to target opponent.
Well, they lose a life.
They lose a life.
They lose a
yeah.
life. Yep.
So, it's
That's a
early
solid
game.
card.
It blocks, which is really important against aggressive deck like Zack. Like that's the kind of card that I definitely want. I don't know if he has a green mana source. I guess we're gonna find out. He's looking at his hand, so maybe.
Do we know who won the die? Okay, obviously
Looks like
Zack.
Zack's on the.
Zack won the die
well,
roll.
if Adam, so he does have the
Would've
green
chose to
source.
play.
That's really good. So, well, Adam could have chose to play, or Zack would have
Correct.
won the die roll.
Yeah.
Either one. But the wall is very very strong in this
Here it
matchup.
is.
And
The
it's
parapet.
got late game inevitability to go with it. So.
I mean, Zack's probably going to have to kill that at some point with a removal spell.
Right.
I don't know
And-
if he has any creatures big enough to.
It looks like
Actually.
Zack missed his land drop.
Is that Wooded Foothills?
Well, he's got his Wooded Foothills, so he's going to get a red mana, but he still doesn't have his white source. And now it's going to be harder for him to draw a 4th land because he'll have less lands in his deck because he's thinned it out. That's one of the reasons I don't like actually playing fetch lands in my draft deck.
I think it's minimal.
If it depends, I guess if you're really aggressive and Zack's deck is, then maybe it's okay.
Yeah.
But I don't like playing
Then you
fetch
think
lands that
he's-
only get 1 color because I feel like you're just.
He's just doing it for the Delph because he's got a Church of Clues
Yeah.
and maybe some other stuff.
Well, he's got the Will of Maga. Okay, so he is. So Adam's gonna do 1 damage. So he's a little bit ahead. Not too much.
Well, not yet
Um,
because
He did 1 damage.
wasn't the Parapet summoning sick?
No, because.
Oh,
three
this
mana.
is turn 4 now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Zack missed his land drop, and
Okay.
Adam also has a morph. That could be a lot of different things, and I'm actually kind of curious to see what it is.
I'm trying to think of what I saw in Adam's deck when I looked through it.
This is going to block with the wall. Zack did draw his 4th land, but he is... that's the 2/3 flyer with prowess. I don't know, I feel like Adam's actually in a pretty good position. He's got all his colors, whereas Zack doesn't. Zack missed a land drop. He's got his early aggression. He's got a removal spell for the big
That Reach of
creature.
Shadows?
Yeah. He's going to get ahead, so now Zack's at 17, so he's ahead 3 life. Zack has demonstrated that he doesn't have something to deal with the wall, because if he did, I feel like he would have done it.
He would have done it by now. Yep.
And he still doesn't have a white source. That's a really big problem for Zack, because it looks like he has at least 1, maybe 2 white cards.
Oh, he's got to Master the Way for the wall.
Okay.
So that'll do it. He'll go to 5, deal 5 damage to the wall. And gets in for 2 here to take Adam to 18.
Yep. I don't know. I feel like that's.
I think Adam is fine trading.
Yeah.
Parapet
That's
for
not what I
a
want
damage
to
investment.
do with that
Right.
that card.
Agreed.
And now Adam can even hardcast his Delph cards, or he can cast them easily.
Yep.
I don't know what that morph is, but if it's Aven, which it might be, if Zack starts to get ahead on board, oh, that's
Is that
a Palace Siege.
That's a good one.
So then the real question is what mode he chose. I would almost choose the damage mode.
The Drain
because,
Life.
Yeah, Zack doesn't have anything on board. He's really slow.
We'll see if Zack
right
goes
now.
to change his life totals here during
Yeah.
Adam's upkeep.
Oh well, he finally found his white source.
Did Adam just give a little clap?
Yeah.
Snarky.
So he can actually cast the white cards in his hand because it looks like he has a couple of them.
Is that a Jeskai charm?
It might be a Jeskai charm, but I honestly don't know if.
Charm doesn't do anything right now.
Yeah, he just needs creatures.
Oh, okay, that's a Winter Flame.
Okay, it was the ghoul.
Oh,
There's
yeah,
the
yeah,
Bonkin.
okay. That's a decent turn.
So
for
he's going to
Zack.
take 2 damage, and he did choose the Drain Life mode.
Okay.
So Adam's back up to 18 and Zack's down to 15. Adam doesn't have any creatures, but he's got a bunch of cards in his hand. And besides the land, it doesn't look like he has any more lands in his hand besides the one he just played. So whatever, he looks like he has maybe 3 cards in his hand. That's the Manifest.
Oh
If
yeah,
you look
right,
at the
into,
top.
right into being.
Yeah.
I didn't quite see what
I
it was.
didn't
that
see
Adam
either.
faced
He
It
had a
looked like a
land
creature.
and probably a creature.
It
He
looked
put the
like a
land on the
creature.
bottom. He might be able. No, he's not going to manifest. So he's just playing.
Smoke
that's-
Tower.
Well, he can look at and see what Zack's thing is.
Yep.
So he does have that functionality, so he can choose whether he wants to block.
I feel like it's very rare that like Smoke Teller actually is used for that ability.
Yeah, he's usually just a bear because you're low on playables, but
Right.
in this case, I think it's actually okay. So now, by doing that, he telegraphs that his last card in his hand isn't like a combat trick, but he is going to look at it.
It's a mountain. Oh no,
No, it's
Nope,
it's a heel cutter.
Anok Tracker.
Checker.
Yeah, this is the 3/3 first strike guy.
So he's
right?
going to block the 2/1.
So he's just gonna trade his manifested Hooded Assassin.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably fine. It's worse than. So he did take 2
Than
damage. He's going to go to 16, but then he's going to gain 2 life.
Yeah,
It looks like Zack's going to trigger cruise.
that's pretty good.
Or, yeah. But that looked like they were pretty bad. It looks like they're all lands.
Ooh.
I mean, obviously he gets through that land pocket, probably, but that is not what you want to
That's-
draw off a treasure cruise.
No, definitely not.
And it looks like you only draw 1 planes. I guess it's better than having no planes, but it's pretty rough.
I mean, he's definitely still. Adam has 1 card in hand right now.
Yes.
There's another Bonkin for Zack.
He is going to get
And
a
a
life,
Windscard, correct.
so that'll help a
Ties the
little
game up
bit.
here. But it's about to be 14 to 18.
Yep. And Zack is on a clock. He doesn't have. When we looked at his deck, I don't think he really had any life gain outside of his dual lands.
Yeah, no main deck way
So-
to deal with Palace Siege. Do you think he'd bring in a race if he had one now, just for the Palace Siege, or
Maybe.
I can't recall if I saw him take one during the draft or not.
I think he had one in his sideboard. I think he got past one that was like his stick.
Yeah, I feel like he saw one really late, but I cannot remember if he took it or not.
Well, he's gonna play something. It might be a charm. No, it looks like a creature. That's a Shuyun.
Oh yeah, okay. That's pretty good here. He's got a lot of mana, so he can play any 3-drop spell and give something double strike here.
Well, Adam has 2 cards in hand, so Zack has to
He's got to be kind of careful.
be careful.
Yeah. I'm not quite sure what Zack has in his hand.
I'm not sure either. So he's gonna take 2, go to 16, and then trade. I almost would have. But then he's
Unmorph
gonna
the
go back
tracker.
up to 18 and Zack's down to 12. Yeah, I almost would have gone for the Bonkin just in case. Well, it's a Wind Scout.
It's not a bad draw. Or play. I'm not sure if he drew that this turn or not. I'm assuming he did, because he's still sitting on
I don't
his
know
other
what
2 cards.
his last 2 cards are. Now he's gonna get a life, and that's important because
That kind of mitigates the Palace Siege a little bit.
Well, okay, so Zack is kind of telegraphing, I think, at this point that he doesn't
Doesn't
have
have
much because he is just. That's actually why I would have killed the Bonkin, exclusively because it can do that.
Yeah.
I guess you have to worry about like a feat of resistance. like blowing you out if you do it that way.
You're gonna get blown out by Feet of Resistance.
Yeah, I think
right?
you just get
So-
blown out either way, so I probably would have killed that.
I think what he was hoping was if he blocks the morph, Zack flips it, and then he has a removal spell or something maybe for it. Or even then just Zack uses his whole turn to make
What
a 3/3
is
first
that?
Is that Bitter Revelation?
No, it's a blue card. He just drew cards.
Weave Fate.
Okay.
The
Oh,
inspiration.
he's just he's representing his prowess trigger.
Yep.
So
It's gonna
he's
be 3. That's
gonna
a kill
kill
shot.
shot it. Now, if Zack has
Anything.
like a spell,
You can deal a good bit of damage.
yeah.
Here. So
But
that's-
it looks like he
that's
just
6
has
damage.
5, so Adam's
That's 6 going in, taking Adam to 12, and then
Yeah,
back
but
up to 14.
yeah, something like that. And Zack is at
11.
he might even be at 9. Well, what is that? Something big. I
Oh, it's
think.
the 3 mana 2/1,
Okay.
where if you control a creature with the lowest toughness or the highest toughness, you draw a card.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's the
Abzan Beastmaster.
yeah.
I believe
it's
it's
the
the name.
Triumph of Ferocity on the stick.
Yes. Yep.
Obviously, he's not going to draw cards off of it. But
No, because he's just
so
a
the
2/1.
the real question is, I almost take that damage. Yeah, and he did. So he just took 3 damage.
Do you think you
Maybe
do?
it'll even
You know
master.
that he's not. He doesn't have a trick or anything, or he would have
Unless
attacked
he
with
drew
Shu
it.
Yun.
Yeah.
Well, he would have attacked with Shu Yun if he had a trick.
Well, that's a scavenger.
Yep. So the scavenger's coming down. We're just gonna go verify real quick that we have life totals in the correct
Yeah,
place.
well,
I believe we've done a
they've-
pretty good job with it, but I might have missed a drain trigger. Actually.
yeah. Looks like Zack's going in with Shu Yun, so I think that indicates that he has some sort of spell.
They have 16-4 on Zack's phone, so we have missed a lot of stuff apparently.
Yeah, there's been some. So Zack's at 4,
Zack is at 4.
and Adam's at 16.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is actually a big deal.
Well, yeah. I mean.
Oh wow! And Zack just bluffed a Shu Yun with a active whatever. So now Zack's gonna go to 2. Adam took 3, but he gains 2 back, so he's at 15. I don't know if Zack can actually win here.
From what I saw of Zack's deck, he doesn't. I mean, there's no way for him to kill the Palace Siege.
He can
So-
gain 1 life, but without the Shu Yun, I don't think he can just kill Adam.
Nope.
Especially since Adam can afford to just throw things in front of the blockers.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
he's gonna live an extra turn.
But he's just got 2 lands in his hand, right?
Yeah.
So-
Well, he can't attack now because if
can't
he
attack.
attacks,
He's dead.
Well, it depends on if if Adam has a removal spell because he does have 3. The Palace Siege isn't a creature, so
Oh, yeah.
Adam goes to 12, but now he's back up to 14.
Zack's at 1.
He's just gonna pass back because he knows all he has to do is
Untap.
survive a turn,
Yeah.
and Zack's showing him the lands, and that's game. So yeah, the Palace Siege we saw in Adam's deck. We assumed that was going to be something really, really big for him, and it looks like it basically single-handedly won the game.
Oh, yeah, I mean, Adam didn't really do anything.
Yeah,
Except play a Palace Siege.
and
so.
and throw some things in front
Yeah.
of Zack. Like he really didn't attack that much. He literally just let the Palace Siege do the work. And oh man, we're back up to 6 viewers. That's pretty
Yeah,
good.
that's solid.
That was a pretty good game 1.
Um,
What's up?
But what I'm seeing on our Twitch stream is like way behind.
Yeah, there's a 30-second delay
Okay, cool.
built in to the Twitch stream, which is why you can't use this. You gotta use the open broadcasting.
All right.
So they're gonna go to game 2. I didn't see Zack look at his sideboard, so I don't know if he's just not interested in bringing in the erase to exclusively deal with
Or if he just
that,
doesn't have one.
or if he just didn't draft one. I thought he got one as a stick.
I thought he did too. And I'm not convinced, but I feel like Palace is just one of those cards that you do.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
strong enough that you do want to bring it in.
I
if you
feel
have
like
it.
Zack's thinking, though, is if a Palace Siege lets him grind out the game like that, he probably lost the game anyway.
That's fair.
And the erase is going to solve it. Zack is playing a very, very aggressive deck. And if he gets into those late game situations, I feel like he just thinks that he's going to lose regardless.
Right.
And maybe that's why he's not interested in sideboarding in the Siege. Especially since he's on the draw, on the play. Although he was on the play last game, and that did not help him. I'm still not 100% sure if Adam won and gave him the play, or if Zack just won naturally, because we did talk to Adam, and Adam mentioned that if he won the die roll, he was going to take
be
the
on the
draw.
Yeah.
So it looks like
which I
Zack
think
has
is-
all of his colors and a removal spell, so he's going to keep his hand, and looks like Adam keeping his as well.
Zach drew a lot of lands in that game.
That
as
is
well.
true, he did.
I think he probably had like 10 in
There's the
play.
Bondkin. That's a pretty good early start, because if Adam has the wall here, and it looks like he doesn't, Zack probably just swings
Attacks.
in,
Yeah.
and hopes to play it. Yep, and that's what he's doing. So he's put Adam to 18, but he doesn't have a creature to follow up. He does have a Winter Flame and a Kill Shot. The Kill Shot's not going to help him this turn, but if
Right.
Adam plays something small enough, he can potentially just Winter Flame it, draw a card. Yep, and
And
that's
as a morph, and that's exactly what you want to hit with Winter Flame.
yeah.
Right?
So he's at his end of the turn going to Winter Flame it,
Yep.
draw a card. Or no, that's tap and
It's
two.
tap.
It's the other one that draws a card.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not Electrolyze, unfortunately.
Okay,
Does
so
he have a Lotus Path Gen in his hand right now?
he might. He keeps moving his hand around, so it's a little hard to tell.
Definitely some Brian Killers.
Well, he's just putting a counter on. Interesting. I feel like if Adam has a removal spell in his hand and he just kills it, or even if he just like draws the wall. I mean, if you like, obviously,
Maybe he's worried about the
so
wall.
he is going to gain life. It doesn't help him against the wall,
Yeah.
unless he does it another time. But
Right.
that's the 2/1.
The Beastmaster,
So it
yeah.
does help against that.
Some foresight on Zach's part, but probably not.
But he does have the kill shot, so if he really had to. So Adam's going to take 3, go to the end of 16. And Zack's going to play his own morph. Keeping up red, I guess representing collateral damage.
Yeah.
I don't think there is one in Zack's deck, but
There is not. But nor is there a Stubborn Denial or any other 1-mana instant at all, I
right.
think.
Well, I think collateral damage is the only 1-mana red spell that you could play at instant speed. I could
I
be
believe so.
wrong
I
on
believe
that.
you're correct.
He's going to offer the trade, which is interesting. I wonder what he has in his hand.
Well, I mean, that Beastmaster doesn't look like it's going to...
Oh, he's singing Bell Strikes, the Bondkin.
Oh, so Zach took the 2.
Yeah. He's going to gain a life, though, so he's going to go back to 19.
Yeah, I mean, I think Adam offers up the trade there because the Beastmaster isn't really doing anything, and he figures that Zach probably values his morph more than
Yep.
Adam not drawing a card.
So Adam's
So-
down to 14. Potentially, Adam could just play something really big now. Zach does have the kill shot.
Like, you have
So-
Abomination of Gulgul or...
Well, the Abomination has died.
Oh, it
That was
has.
his
Okay.
morph.
Is that his only one?
I think so.
It's a debilitating injury.
So now it's a... Does that kill it? Is it
Yeah,
it's
I
-2,
don't
-2?
know what his what the morph is, so if he can flip it. He's got a Jeskai
it's just gonna
time.
die. He could charm it to save it, but it's
Yeah,
probably
put it
not
on
worth
the-
it. Yeah, it's
it
a
was an
tracker.
ANOC tracker.
Yeah. So now Zach's aggression has gone basically to 0.
Oh yeah.
He's taken 2 more damage. He's down to 17 now. Now Zach can untap his Bondkin now, but if he does that, I don't know that it's worth it. I guess he could untap it. Well, he can do it at instant speed, so he forces Adam to not attack with his Beast Master.
I'm wondering if Zach can get to a point where he can like start untapping and outlasting his guys multiple times.
That being said, yeah, so he is Well, this is interesting because I wonder if Adam has a kill spell. So when Zack
When he
pays,
untaps and then,
the 6 mana, then he just
kills it.
it.
I mean, you're still getting a 2-for-1 there because you've got the Singing Bells right hand, whatever removal spell, and it costs you, I guess, a turn.
Zack does take a damage from that, going down to 16. Interesting. He's gonna Cunning Strike it.
I guess he just wants to draw the card.
I don't know if I would have fetched. I guess he just wants to make sure that he doesn't have the...
Probably just doesn't want to draw a land.
Well, he's got the Horde Mate, but the problem is he can't attack with it. Attack with his guy. Oh, he's got another Bondkin. So yeah, Adam did have a removal spell. But it doesn't look like Adam has... Is that a Palace Siege? Nope. It's Disowned Ancestor. Which actually isn't bad. Obviously it doesn't do anything right now, but it blocks pretty much everything Zack has. I would have to imagine that Zack is probably going to untap his Bondkin and then attack with it next turn and then Timely Horde Mate back the other Bondkin back.
Yeah.
So Adam is going to outlast, yeah. Yep, and that looks like what he's doing. Now, if Adam has a removal spell in his hand, this is really bad for Zack.
Yes. Yeah.
So he's going to take
4
3
power
damage.
now, correct?
3.
No, okay.
It only has 1 counter on it.
Okay.
So Adam's going to go to 11, and now he's going to play the Horde Mate, get back the other Bondkin.
And play land.
And play a land. And Zack still has the kill shot. I feel like at this point, what Adam needs more than anything is his Palace Siege or something, because it looks like he's really just not drawing anything.
Yeah.
He's played less cards than Zack. Zack's only drawn 1. He hasn't even drawn an extra card though, really, because Zack was on the the play.
Yeah.
So they actually have the exact same number of cards, but it just seems like Adam has played fewer cards.
Aven Surveyor. Bouncing the... Yep.
Oh, it's going to get in there for 4. See if Adam has anything.
Looks like he does. Is it a Sultai Charm?
No, that's, draw 2.
Oh, okay. We fake.
Yeah, he's looking for something. It looks like he found it. He's got Throttle. So he's only going to take 2.
Taking him to 9. So 4 is there for Adam.
Yeah, well, I don't know what the other card he drew off his...
Weefy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got his Ancestor, which can block. Can't block the Flyer, though. And now he's...
Another Ancestor?
I think that's
No,
his
that's-
Palace Siege. No, it's not. What is that? I don't know what that was.
No idea. We can send our field reporter, Chris Gilmore, out there to find out. Whatever this top card
That's
in.
8, so that's going to put Adam to 1. I don't know if Adam has an out.
Actually, amazed Chris would have that.
Yeah, he does.
Also, Adam's is dead. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. It just seemed like Adam just drew really poorly, because early game he was doing very well, and then he just didn't get there.
It was a Palace.
It was the
It was a
Palace?
Palace Siege. Okay.
Then why did they go to the graveyard?
Oh.
Interesting. Yeah, I think it was just a little too late. If he had a little bit earlier.
Yeah. I mean,
Well-
we saw Palace Siege just take over game 1 and just
Yeah.
single-handedly win Adam the game.
And either of the modes would have been good there because he could have gotten back
get
a creature.
ancestor,
Start getting,
right.
well, he had a bunch of other creatures in his graveyard too.
Yeah.
He
Well,
had the ghoul, which
Yeah.
would have dominated that board. Just would have been hands down the biggest thing. Would have forced Zack to kind of have to do Bondkin shenanigans.
So in draft, you can name your draft deck Steven Seagal. Under Siege.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Under Siege.
All right, Chris.
Well,
Yeah.
Chris Gilmore, ladies
There you
and
go.
gentlemen. All
Fun.
6 of you.
Hey, 6 is solid, dude.
Yeah, it is. There was one like 5 minutes ago.
the thing I'm actually curious too is if Adam decides to be on the play now that he knows what Zack's playing, or if he chooses to be on the draw again.
You seem pretty confident that he almost always wanted to be on the draw.
It looked like that might have been the Palace Siege in his opening hand.
That's pretty good.
A turn 4 Palace Siege is really hard for Zack to beat. It looks like Zack's hand is maybe not so great. Yeah, he did choose to be on the draw. I only see 2 lands, and he doesn't have a red source. He does have a Bondkin, and it looks like Adam's also going to gain a life. And he's just going to kill it right away. Yeah. And yeah, Zack kept a 2-land hand. That might just kill him. We're gonna see what Adam has to follow it up.
If Adam does have the Palace Siege, I feel like Zack's probably just dead. That's gonna start.
Drawing him cards. Yeah. And now it's gonna draw him 2 cards. That's really gross.
Yeah, and then he'll follow that up with a Palace Siege.
If he has it, yeah. He definitely has at least a Smoke Teller.
At least a Smoke Teller.
Well, I mean, it's something to start getting in. That
That's
looks like a
writing
written being,
yeah.
Yeah, I guess he doesn't have the land, or no, he's got to have the land.
That's
right?
a Soul Tie Charm, and
Trying to decide if he wants that on top.
he does decide he wants it on top.
All right, so he's gonna get him for 2. I guess Adam also doesn't have a land. Well, Zack found his land, but it might be too late. He's gonna draw 2 cards now, and Adam has found another land. He might have the Palace Siege, but he might just not be able to cast it. And he's gonna get him in for 4.
Zack doesn't have any particularly good racing creatures. Like, there's no Mantis Rider or...
Right.
Like, the best thing he has is Shu Yun, and that's a little slow at
It's
this point
super
on the board.
mana intensive.
Yeah.
And drawing lands that come in and tapped. Like, what does he do here? Does he play a creature? Does he try
If
to
he has a
kill...
Winter Flame, I'd probably kill the Absent Beastmaster.
Yeah, kill the Beastmaster and tap one of the morphs.
Yeah.
And only take 2.
Top's got that kill shot.
Yeah.
He does have a kill shot as well. And
I
maybe
don't-
a Whisk Away. He's got a lot of removal.
Yeah, he's got a lot of removal, but I don't know if you can just afford to, like, try and 1-for-1 Adam at this point, because Adam's so far ahead.
He's very far ahead.
Yeah,
I think he's going to Winter Flame here so that he doesn't get the draw card. Bathe Dragonfire.
Yeah. So he won't draw a card, but if he...
Well, Winter Flame is the tap.
No, I mean Adam won't draw a card.
Adam will draw a card. Okay.
Yeah. But he's just going to get in there for 4. So it's extra 13. And it looks like Adam is also having trouble drawing lands, which is interesting. Oh, he's looking for that land. He found the island, but if he has the Palace Siege in his hand, he really needs another blue source.
I mean, Zack seems almost fine here because he can now kill a morph,
It
tap
depends,
a
though, because
thing.
I don't think Zack has anything to turn the game around at this point. Like, he can kill a bunch of creatures.
Is that Shu Yun in his hand?
It might be. Actually, yeah, I do think he has Shu Yun. But Shu Yun is really susceptible because Adam hasn't played any removal outside that first one, and he's drawn a lot of cards. Well, okay, there's the other black source. So if he has that Palace Siege, I would have to imagine it comes down next turn. Yeah, he's probably just going to Winter Flame here. Tap 1 and kill the other.
Guys, the manifest a token creature or non-token creature?
Non-token.
Not token. Guys, manifest.
It was a scavenger. That's going to be very difficult to manifest. So.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Who's just got Wind Scout
Ooh.
and a Smoke Tower.
I mean,
So
like
some pressure here. from
again, like he drew another Winter Flame. It looks like, but still, like depending on
So what do you kill here with a Winter Flame? Do you kill the Wind Scout? Or
probably the Wind Scout, yeah, because it does the most damage if Adam
Right.
has.
Did he get a 6 land so he can now?
Now he's still at 5. So
Okay.
this is all Zack can do.
Right.
So he's gonna take 2. He's gonna go to 11, and if that Palace Siege, no, that's the
Hooded Assassin.
yeah. But I mean, it's more pressure.
more
Zack,
damage.
Zack's only 1 for 1 in here,
Is that
and
is that
every
a
time
Mind Swipe? It's a Mind Swipe in Zack's
yeah.
hand.
But he's not gonna counter
I
anything.
mean, it
with
doesn't do anything, yeah.
He's gonna chill it and
Yep.
draw a card. Hope to draw a land. Nope.
Zack appears to be getting a little frustrated here.
Yeah. So that's 5. He's down to 6. Another Hooded Assassin. I don't know if Zack has an out.
You'd have to have a pretty good series of draws here.
So
He doesn't have any.
He's got all this removal, but it doesn't matter because he can only cast 1 per turn, and
Yeah.
Adam keeps playing more creatures.
Yeah.
It looks like he doesn't have the Palace Siege. He does have. I mean, this is lethal. He's still dead.
Taking 6 and
That's 8. Did we miss something?
we must have missed something.
Okay. Well,
We could have
at
been
the
too
very
far off.
at the very least, he's got to be dead next turn.
Yeah.
Like. So he's found his 3rd land, but he only. Oh, the big thing is he only has 1 blue source, so he actually can't cast his Shuyan. Isn't it a 1 blue blue?
No, it's 2 and a blue.
Oh, okay, it is 2 in a blue. Yeah, he just.
But he just doesn't.
He
have
shows his
anything else he
hand.
can do.
Oh, there's the Yasova. So if you ever played anything, you could just
Yeah.
play Yasova, steal his creature.
Yep.
Like. Yeah, so that's going to be Adam.
Progressing on to round 2 here.
Yeah, that's 2-1. Kind of a shame for Zack, but yeah, that's exactly. I mean, he kept a really, really ballsy hand. He only had 2 mana, and he was on
And the 1 threat.
He was on the play.
Yeah, on the play with only the Bonkin that he
Yeah.
could cast, right? And then when Adam had the injury.
Well, we had Bonikin and to Shuyun theoretically if he
Right.
drew the other land, but like he just got so far behind because he missed his 2nd land
Yeah.
drop.
And then not hitting his 6th land drop for that long period of time
Yeah.
hurt him too. Because once he could cast 2 removals for the turn, he probably could have dug his way out of that.
Potentially, it depends on what Adam had.
Right.
Because Adam did
He
have
was
the
sandbagging
Yasova.
a lot of cards.
Yeah, he was holding the Yasova up to, I assume, play, steal something, and swing with it.
Right.
Because he had the mana to do it. But yeah, he just he didn't get there. It's yeah, Adam showing him that he had the Yasova. I honestly like once he started getting behind, I just don't think there was any way for him to get back out.
Well, that was
Here
stupid.
he comes.
That was dumb.
Kept a really ballsy hand there.
I don't think it was
Vanessa.
that ballsy.
Ballin'.
You
2
had
lands.
2 lands on the draw, and you can only cast 1 card in your hand.
On
The
the play.
problem. It was
On the play, excuse me.
But the issue was I had multiple cards I could cast at 3 mana. Any land.
Yeah,
Any land. I can cast multiple
but
cards.
you have to draw a land in your first 2
My
draws.
6 isn't going to be better than that.
That's potentially true.
Both times. Both times it happened, I was in that exact situation where my 6 would not be better.
It could be better.
It would not be better.
It could be better.
I mean-
Odds are it would not be better. Odds were...
Katniss would disagree with you.
Okay, well, I think the moment we start
Hey.
basing things off Hunger Games...
Han Solo would tell you never tell me the odds.
Yeah, what do you do with
Is that
that?
actually a thing?
He says never tell me the
He
odds.
does say that.
Well, he died.
Han Solo never died. What are you talking
He
about?
died.
Get out of here.
You mean Lord of the Rings?
No, yeah, exactly.
You're a wizard, Harry. Gandalf.
Vanessa, everyone.
I thought the deck was excellent. If I could
Your
just,
deck's fine.
I'm
draw with
assuming
the
this is round 2.
Yeah, this is round 2.
I don't know who these
Uh,
people are. Is that
that's
correct?
Adam
Hawkins?
still.
Adam and Graham?
That's not
no,
Graham.
this is Guy I don't know.
Guy, I don't know. That's
Yep.
a good.
That's
Okay.
a good name. Go
So-
for it. Guy I don't know.
Guy, I don't.
That's pretty
No.
frustrating.